Hello, Will here again with Gamzu Games. In this session I want to talk about cooperative board games, or games where we all work together for the same common goal and common purpose. Now, traditional board games have everybody in it for themselves. It's kind of like tennis or some of those other solo sports where it's just you versus the world, and as long as you walk away with a victory, you feel really good about yourselves. For most of my life, this is the kind of gameplay that I've enjoyed and the kind of play that I've learned, where you sit down around a board and you work against everyone else, and at the end of the day, somebody walks away proving that they were better that day than everybody else, and everybody else walks away and they're a little bit disappointed, wishing that they would have won. Well, cooperative games is a solution so that everyone is in it together. It's like being on the same sports team, going up against that foe as the underdog, knowing that the deck is stacked against you, and walking away victorious. In fact, a couple of times when I've played these cooperative games with other people, we've talked about it weeks later when they'll bring up a situation and say, hey, remember when we were playing Pandemic or when we were playing Shadows over Camelot and we were about to lose and then we drew this card and this happened and we won. And in those times where you don't win and you lose, you find yourself dedicated and motivated and ready to come back and play that game time and time again. One of my good friends was introduced into Pandemic and we gave him a quick tutorial on how to play. And he and his family went home and they played and they lost and they played again and they lost. They lost 2 times the first night. They played again the third night, and on the second night they played again and they lost again. The third day he almost had to take work off and pull his kids out of school so they could stay home and work together to beat this game. Now fortunately rationality and sanity won out, and so they didn't do that, but needless to say they couldn't wait to get home to play together. 2 of my favorite games in this category are the 2 that I've already mentioned, Pandemic and Shadows over Camelot. Pandemic is made by Zeman Games, and it's a game where you are trying to save the world from disease and infection and from outbreaks that will end the human race. You've got to work together to move your pieces across the board to squash the disease, to find the cures, and ultimately save the world. So, if you're in it for humankind and want to make a difference together, this game's right for you. Also, if any of your kids or friends are in med school, it's they get a big kick out of this game because it's ultimately what they're working on. It's their higher purpose. So for only about $30, you can bring them that higher purpose, and it's a lot of fun. So Pandemic is a great cooperative game. If you want specific rules on it, look at our website, either rules, instructions. We've got video blogs and tutorials. Check it out to either pick up the game or learn more about it. The second game that I want to talk about is Shadows over Camelot. Now, one of the things I really like about Shadows over Camelot is the number of players that it allows to work together. In Pandemic, it's a 4-player game. It also has an expansion called On the Brink that brings in a 5th player. With Shadows over Camelot, it goes up to 7 players, so it can be a lot of fun for a big family. There's even other games that go up to 8 players, so you can get family and friends. You can have everybody playing, even Aunt Irma if you want. You can all be together playing the same game time and time again. In Shadows over Camelot, evil's assembled and poor King Arthur's in a mess, so you and your friends get to be knights of the Round Table to battle evil and to protect Camelot from being conquered from every side. In this game, you're trying to defeat other enemies, you're trying to protect it from becoming under siege, you're trying to fight off Black Knights, and even in one mode you can play it where somebody decides that they can be a traitor and work with the game against everyone else. Now that kind of introduces that element of fighting back into it, so you may or may not want to play that way, but it adds a new dynamic way to play the game if you're kind of bored of the traditional play where you all work together. So, another great game in the cooperative game category. There's lots of games that are considered cooperative games. Tonight we're not going to highlight all of them, we just wanted to give you a brief introduction to what the category was and why we, as people that are playing a lot of board games, love this, because families walk away joined, friends walk away happy, and they build memories that last, and that's really important to us. So, thanks for joining us tonight. If you want to pick up these games or anything else, visit our website, gamzugames.com.